All right, want to tell you right now, we got some awesome people that support the show. Welcoming Durgard Roofing, great guys, commercial roofing, everything you need for commercial roofing, call Durgard Roofing. They'll take care of you. Scott's a great guy and doing some work for us right now too, and very, very proud to have him as a sponsor. So if you have any commercial roofing needs, Durgard Roofing's your guy. Now, if you need to insure your guns, which you do need to insure your guns. Let me emphasize that. Everybody needs to insure their guns. Get a hold of my good friend, Zach Goodhart. He's a Farm Bureau agent, a gun enthusiast, an SCI member, an all-around great sportsman, and he will help you out. His phone number, write this down. Remember, this is insurance for your guns. 810-391-2455. Again, that's 810-391-2455. Tell him you heard about him on the Gunsmith Show and you want to get your guns insured. I just got a call, actually an email last weekend. One of our friends' nieces got cleaned out. They came home from work and everything was gone. The husband's entire gun collection gone. They called me and said, or they emailed me and said, what do we do? I said, well, you get your list together, get it around to the gun shops. Of course, you made a police report. You got all that done. But get that list out to the public so that the gunsmiths know what guns, the gun shops know what guns to look for. And always make sure you have identifying marks on your guns. Know the serial numbers. Have a complete list. Have them insured. And keep them locked up like nothing else you own. Yep. Okay? I mean, keep them locked up. Our good friends at Pal Alarm, another great way to take care of yourself and take care of your family and your guns. Paul Lebrecht from Pal Alarm is, let's just say he's a consummate professional, making sure that all of our needs for our alarm system are taken care of. Now, he's been doing alarms for about, quarter century, and he does a darn good job at it.
Longer than I've been doing anything.
He can put video surveillance in your house. He can do heat sensors in your gun room. He can do tilt sensors on your safe. Get a hold of Paul. Tell him the Gunsmith Show sent you. Paul's number is 810-908-8298. All right. Again, that's 810-908-8298. All right, Jake, take us away, buddy. What do we got going on?
All right, we're going to start talking about the Smith & Wesson M&P lineup in the 9mm.
Good.
As our gun of the week.
I'm all for it, man.
Now, the M&P is short for what? Military and police.
That's right. That's exactly what it's short for. And the military and police line has been out for, I don't know, what, about a century?
Yeah, they're all 1925 models.
They had a military and police line back then, too.
45 ACP revolvers and 38 revolvers.
Built tough, built to work, and now this new line from Smith & Wesson. I was a little apprehensive at first, but the ergonomics of these guns and the actions and the smoothness of them, I'm very impressed. And so that's why they're our gun of the week this week.
Well, they were introduced in 2005, and what they are is Smith & Wesson really evolved they've used the Walther cooperation that they had for 10 years along with their Sigma series of handguns and evolved both of them into the M&P lineup that we see today.
And I think the way you say they evolved, they had some rough beginnings. Some of those early guns, there were some recalls and some problems, but it's gotten so much better and so refined, and that's a beautiful thing. It's always good when you see companies come back from failure, and not that it was a failed gun, but it had some glitches, and they were trying to fight the Glock industry, and come out with a gun that cops want to carry. Well, those first models, they weren't that durable, they weren't that good, and that's why you didn't see anybody carrying them. But now, the Smith & Wesson M&P line is just about everywhere you look.
Now, they had certain items that were completely new to the Smith & Wesson lineup. They had never seen before.
Like what? Inquiring minds want to know.
They had completely improved the trigger to give it the smooth trigger that a semi-auto Smith & Wesson had not had in the past.
That's well put. Well put. I was never very impressed. Even Model 59s and 39s, the early models of the Smith, the Starsky and Hutch model. they were fun because he carried a lot of rounds, but they didn't have very good triggers.
The ergonomics on these guns is I think one of the biggest selling points for these guns is
quite
the
an
ergonomics.
attribute. Yep.
The way it has the palm swell on it, it fits your hand.
And you have adjustable palm swells with it too.
Exactly.
You have all the parts right in the case with it.
Exactly.
17 rounds, 4 1/4 inch barrel. Each comes with 2 magazines, and there might even be some bonus magazines out there today if you talk to the factory rep. You never know.
That's right.
But it is a striker fired now, and the frame is the part of the gun is made out of Zytel polymers. It's reinforced plastic. It's pretty cool stuff.
Exactly, it is. It really is. When they redesigned this handgun from the other ones, it's like making a Frankenstein. You tear out your past 10 copies and you put them all and make the one you want. What they did was they had the barrel setting lower on the gun.
Yes.
It was not the tall slide that
like the XDs look like.
Exactly.
Yeah, very tall slide.
So
a lot of metal up on top.
The barrel was a lot closer to lower down to your hand, and they said that it redesigns the entire gun because of the recoil, that it handles better.
Really?
Yep.
I believe it.
He said
I've watched the slow motion shooting of this gun, and the recoil, the slide action, everything. It just looks like a smart gun. Some of the guns out there are designed, folks. There might be a gun on the market, but that doesn't mean it was well designed. That just means it works. If it's on the market, that means it fires.
Yep.
And most of the time, I should say, because semi-automatics are inherently giving people problems. If it's if you're not shooting it all the time, or if you just shoot it once or twice a year and you go, yeah, it works most of the time, are you going to feel comfortable carrying that gun?
Right.
I got friends that carry these Smith & Wessons all the time and love them. Good friends, acquaintances, people come up to me talking about Smith & Wessons. I haven't heard any horror stories about this one, I'll tell you that much.
Right.
They work. So, and I don't usually say that about a lot of guns.
Yeah.
Because we've had pros and cons with just about every line.
Yeah, that's exactly correct. The standard M&P, it's got the 4 1/4 inch barrel.
Mm-hmm.
Comes with 2 magazines, and each magazine holds 17 rounds. Now, they are the traditional Novak 3-dot sights.
Good. But you can get night sights.
You can get the night sights. So that is an option
the
for
Michigan-made night sights. I would imagine. Well, the
Trijicon ones?
Yeah, Trijicon ones, I would think. Now, I'm wondering, I didn't bring the catalog this morning, doggone it, but I bet you
there is a line of fire sights from Williams for these handguns.
Good. That would be outstanding.
Now, this is what me and my numbers, I started looking at them.
Okay.
Okay, it has a 6.5 pound trigger pull.
Okay.
I said, okay, well, that sounds okay, but let's compare it to a similar gun in another brand. So
okay.
I went to the Glock 17. Basically the same gun, high capacity, 9mm. They're very comparable.
Sure.
Almost
same size.
If you want a high capacity 9mm, you're going to look at either Glock or Smith & Wesson. That's going to be one of the two that
will stand out.
A gun store is going to have on the shelf every day.
Right.
So, Glock 17 has a 5.5 pound trigger pull.
Okay.
Which I wasn't sure of at first.
What do you mean?
Because
you weren't sure of what?
I wasn't that sure of how is that trigger pull, that extra pound, is it really enough
to be a deterrent?
Right.
No, I don't think it is. I haven't heard anybody complain about the triggers.
And that's what I meant. I don't think that the trigger weight on this is really a deterrent at all.
No, I don't think so.
It's a good smooth because trigger. Of the ergonomics of the gun, you don't notice it.
That could be very true. Could be very true.
Now,
so at 5.5, if 5.5 pounds on the Glock as opposed to the Smith, I don't think it's a real determining factor.
I don't think it is.
If you're trying to shoot competition, you're probably going to have a trigger job done on it anyway. But this isn't the type of gun that you're going to shoot competition with unless you're in a 3-gun comp or something and you're going, in that way. But
and that's where the other models come into play.
Yeah.
The Core Pro Series Core stands for Competition Optics Ready Equipment.
Now, this is quite a pistol.
The top, it has the notch out, just like the FNXs do.
Yes, it's been notched and machined to allow for a sight.
That's right.
Now, the sight being usually it's a red dot of some type, but it's going to be a
it's that glass
holographic.
Yep.
A holographic sight. It does come with a better trigger, doesn't it?
It does.
It's got a little refined trigger. It's a 5-pound clean trigger.
And that's the same with the other Pro Series as well.
And it's also got a little bit different Novak sights on it. And does come with a longer barrel. So this is your hot rod. And not a bad price. In that core, the core line is $769.
Yep.
Now, that doesn't include the sight.
No, it does not.
So you still got to buy the sight. And there's lots of people making that sight now because it's become fairly popular.
Leupold, Trijicon.
First time I ever saw a sight like that on a gun was in the movie Eraser.
Really?
Yes, in the movie Eraser, one of the bad dudes from the CIA or whatever had one. And I went, what is that? I want to slow the... So, that's a lot of times when you see that prototype stuff, they introduce it in movies and slowly bring it to you. But it's become quite a trendy thing, let's just say, putting these sights on these handguns, these holographic sights. So pretty interesting. But this Pro Series...
MSRP on the core was $769.
Yeah.
But MSRP on the Pro is $689.
Yeah. So
I wasn't sure if the Pro had some type of a different barrel.
It says it has a longer barrel.
You know how the XDs have the match grade barrel?
Yes, XDMs.
XDMs.
Yep.
So, but the Pro Series, you can get it with it's a 5-inch barrel instead of a 4 1/4.
Yep. Well, interesting. And they probably even have, I wouldn't be surprised if they're introducing threaded barrels and such for these things, because I noticed...
I did see a model that had the raised sights ready for a silencer.
Very good. Okay. Now, how about the compact version?
Yes.
Now, your standard M&P9 has the MSRP of $569.
Yep.
But the compact version, this has got the 3.5-inch barrel. It has the 12-round capacity magazines, and they have the one that comes with the Crimson Trace grips. MSRP on that one is $829.
Yes.
Now, that's kind of everything you need. If you're looking for that home defense gun that you don't want it to be huge, but you want a really good sight system on it, because, honestly, if you've never shot a gun with a laser on it, you need to try it, because it's a very interesting shoot. Lots of fun. And helps you acquire that target so fast. So think about that. $829. Again, this is MSRP. You got to get out and see what the actual prices are at Williams and see what they're going for. But there's some pretty cool stuff too. There's even this carry range kit, carry and range kit. It gives you a holster. This is through Smith & Wesson. You can get the gun with holster, 2 magazines,
Yep.
2 magazine holder, a magazine loader. It's kind of like what Springfield's done with their XD packages.
Yes.
Comes kind of like in a suitcase.
I think SIG has it also. They call it like the bug out package or the executive
Pro
package.
Yes, they do. And but anyways, you can get that whole package. Ends up running you $689 for your standard.
Really, for the holster, and it's really not that bad.
No, it's not.
That's MSRP.
Jake looked at it, and the first thing he said was,
"Well,
wait a minute, it's a right-handed holster."
Everybody offers standard right-handed holsters.
Yeah, you got to get
now.
The
There's
optional
got to be
left-handed.
a way for these companies to produce an ambidextrous holster.
Well,
all it would take is another hole
to flip it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all it would take.
Well,
but
probably less expensive just to manufacture a left-handed version as opposed to a right-handed version. So,
you mean more expensive?
No, it'd be less expensive just to manufacture the other one.
Oh, yeah, yes. Yeah,
so,
they should have an option.
Because the gun's it's ergonomically designed to fit the way it fits.
Yeah,
so
don't tell me it's ergonomically designed only for a right-handed person.
Well, the right-handed ones are.
Technically, almost all semi-auto revolvers are, because the brass flies
to the right.
Back to your right. Back into the right.
All right, well, listen, the thing to do is not back into the left, but back into the right.
You went there, I didn't.
The thing to do today is get out to Williams, because it's demo days and your factory rep is right there to help you make the decision, and you can even try it before you buy it.
All right.
On the M&P line. So get out there and see what you think. I think you'll be very impressed.
Sounds good.
Now, don't get frustrated on the way to Williams because of the construction traffic out there that's going on. That bridge, the northbound lane of Irish Road, is closed. So to get there, you might want to get off at Belsey Road and take Lapeer Road over, or if you're coming from the Davison area, come in on Lapeer Road from Davison.
Yes.
Or come over Lippincott and get the Irish and go north, whatever you got to do. But all roads lead to Williams today. So get out there. And, you can send a family over to the, if your family doesn't want to be with you in the gun shop, send them over to the Davison Farmers Market.
That's right.
And they can enjoy a lunch and get some, fall gatherings going on, and you can go over there and sow your wild oats at the gun range. So whatever you got to do. Well, listen, it's time for another commercial break. The Gunsmith Show gotta take this quick commercial break. So hang on tight. We'll be right back.